Hello, good morning and good evening, everyone. I'm Lance. I'm a soul purpose activist, a life coach, and an Akashic reader. And we will be joined today by Claudine. Hi, Claudine.
Hi, Lance. Should I introduce myself
Yes,
now?
please.
Okay, I'm Claudine, and I'm an Akashic instructor and consultant, a soul purpose activist, the same as Lance.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also part of the same group, Soul Purpose Hub. Uh, Together, um, we are here to talk about soul purpose and Akashic record reading and perhaps other things that might come into the conversation as well.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? What do you say, Lance?
Yes, agree. So we're going with the flow
Yeah, we are.
wherever this leads us. But first, um, let's um let's share why we're doing this.
Uh,
Um,
why? Because this is our coming out.
coming out. Explain more, Claudine.
Uh, well, for the longest time, I really didn't want to come out on vid.
Mhm.
Um, but I think it's high time. I
I
face.
al- I always hear that, no, the term coming out as a spiritual seeker, perhaps. What do you mean when you say coming out?
Coming out of my shell,
Mm.
coming out of my cocoon, uh, coming out with perhaps things that may not be familiar to others.
Mm-hmm.
So perhaps, not perhaps, but we're here to explain a little bit more about what we do and what we stand for, what we believe in.
Yes, what we believe in kasi we declared we're soul purpose activists. For
Mhm.
me, coming out means I find it funny because I've said it several times and I'm still coming out. Like it's different layers of coming out, no? Different layers of unraveling of like an onion
Like
peeling,
an onion, yeah.
yeah, to get to the center. Maybe for me, coming out also means coming out, bringing out a part of myself that's not really openly living
Declare.
its life, yeah, or declared in my circle of friends or my family or my ex-colleagues. So in a way, this is also a way for me to integrate the different areas of my life, which I'm also activating, which I'm also advocating. And yeah, and this is in part because of our project in Soul Purpose Hub.
Build to have conversations that build the future.
Conversations that build the future. And we've been doing it for several weeks.
This is
This is
our fifth
yeah, this is the
episode.
fifth week, but this is the first week that you joined, Claudine, because you were busy with
Yes,
what?
teaching Akashic classes and Akashic manifestation classes. It was a back to back.
That's why you had that that expression of
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to join you guys earlier, but I couldn't.
uh this conversation pala is extra helpful to me. I have a personal intention kasi uh I started the process of going to teacher training of Akashic reading with Claudine. So it's also one way for me to pick her brains and to understand more about Akashic reading.
Pick my brains.
I've had several experiences about Akashic reading, and for me, it's really very experiential. I go with my intuition, and I know it's helped me a lot. But it's always been a challenge how to share it with other people.
Mm-hmm.
How do you explain something that could be so life changing, um, so huge when you experience? All my readings, I can say, has been healing for me. It gave way to transformations. So this is something that I want to share with more people.
I guess the simplest way, since everybody's now into tech and work from
Mm-hmm.
home,
Mm-hmm.
many people are forced to use the technology. So even before technology was born or was made or was invented, there was the original Ethernet. So this is the etheric Ethernet.
That's
Mhm.
ETHERNET. Okay, can
Mhm.
you tell us more about that?
It's where you can, it's basically like Google from
Oh,
the
that's a good one.
beginning of time.
Yes,
Yeah.
because the Akashic Records is said to
It's a
contain all
repository
everything
of
that happened. Yes.
all information since the beginning of creation.
So that includes events, your thoughts.
Yeah, it includes our past, our present, future probabilities, but no,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
nothing written in stone. But it can show you, it can help someone. Like if you're at crossroads in life or in career, you can ask the Akashic records to show you what are the probabilities if you take this path or that path. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess, and not I guess, but I find it really helpful.
Mm-hmm. Me
I
too.
find it helpful.
Ac- ac- I mentioned that Akashic reading has been very experiential for me. The way I got into this was um, I was scheduled for a reading by my friend. I always call it an ambush reading because I was scheduled and I felt I really needed to go because she was gushing that I had this reading yesterday and the reading was so life changing for me and I want you to have the same experience. So she booked me and it was too late for me. I was too late to the appointment when I saw her message and then I still went. And then that just began a whole journey for me to being a client to a reader and now
So
a
down the
teacher
rabbit hole
training.
you went, in short.
Yes, yes. And I'm not, maybe it's a good time to declare that I feel Akashic reading is part of my soul purpose, but it's not entirely my soul purpose. It's been instrumental in finding my soul purpose, um, in finding my way through life.
Well, that's how you started with Akashic reading. How I started, I was introduced to it by our teacher,
Mhm.
Kim, and she gave me a reading in 2010, middle of 2010. I remember it was around June. And that
More
was,
than a decade ago.
yeah,
Mm.
11 years ago. It was life changing, to say the least. I think even to say life changing was, um, what do you call that? It's not even enough to call it life changing.
Really.
It started the same with you. It started a whole journey for me. But at the time already, I was helping Kim already establish the Lily um, activations and helping out with the orientations. I think that was before a Lily orientation,
Mhm.
and it helped ease a burden. It felt like a huge thorn from my side was taken. Of course, there was like still a little bit more for me to work through after
Mhm.
quite some time.
Mhm.
But suffice it to say, the masters and teachers, or what we call the masters and teachers, these are, for those who don't know, these are like the saints and sages that have gone before us, or who have more wisdom than us. You
Mhm.
know, um, supposedly we're actually the same as them, but I see it that they have more wisdom, they have more experience, and thus they can help advise people through an Akashic reading. In any case, so for me that was how it started. And
Mhm.
then fast forward, so I took the class in
Mhm.
2010. I re-audited and re-audited because I wanted to learn more.
Mhm.
I wanted to pack in information that I could.
Mhm.
It was something that called out to me. Um, and besides, I didn't want to go into the same route as psychic reading or tarot card reading because too many people were doing it. I wanted to have my own niche.
During
Um,
that time.
yeah, during that time. So that was the selfish reason.
You wanted to be different.
I wanted to be different
Yes,
because,
yes. Not that you feel this is better than the other, but because there were many already, you wanted to be
yeah, I wanted to be
unique and
different.
different,
Yeah.
ahead
I
of
mean,
the
it's
pack. So yeah, it was personal.
a segment of the market, a niche market there.
Yeah, yeah.
Little did I know I was going to be teacher, o diba? Uh, so being a teacher was not in my conscious thoughts. It was something that I quote unquote accidentally went into. And when I say accidentally, quote unquote, it's because all along I think my soul and my higher self had that plan. It's like,
Mm,
okay, take
mm,
this first step. It's
mm.
the same with soul purpose, It's like
Oh, that's
they
good.
don't show you the end scene. Like you have to go through every chapter of the book.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings, right? Or The Hobbit. It's something that you go through each chapter, and then there are hurdles,
Mm,
there are trials, there are happy moments, there are joyful moments, but there are moments that I cry. Um, it was something step by step, in a way, in the same way that it was shown to me before. Like, how do I get from to? I can't remember the question, but it had something to do with soul purpose and the world that I would
mhm,
want to have to live in and to create.
mhm.
And I was shown like yung stone steps.
Ah, yes, yes.
It was just like that.
Mhm.
And
Like,
that's like, even I guess even for you, it's like the end goal, the end picture was not really given, but just enough for you to go to the next step and then the next step, right?
maybe just enough for me not to
Not to
resist so much and not do
and
it.
go the other way.
Yes.
Actually, that's the joke that I say. That's not joke, but that's an example I tell people. Like, if your sole purpose is something like being crucified like Christ, would you want to know already by now? Of course not.
And it could be very, very different from what you see yourself in the present,
It was not something.
right?
This is not something I planned for. Ego
Yes,
personality me didn't see this coming.
correct. My dad would even tell his friends, "Oh, si Lance, nanghuhula na siya ngayon." So it really makes me laugh. I love the acceptance. Um, I find it
Even
so
if they don't
funny.
get it, no.
Completely, yes, yes. If they don't get it completely, I haven't read for them. uh, but I love that they accept it. So maybe this is also I want to have conversations like this to make Akashic reading accessible to people, to have that understanding, and to make it more, um, to have the awareness that this is available. And
Mm-hmm.
then I want to clarify. Both of us said that it is life changing. Are we raising the hopes of people that this is a magic pill and can solve all their problems? That's the
Well,
difference.
something I realized
Mm-hmm.
when I was teaching already. I see the value, the intrinsic value of being able to read.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like as many people, as many of my friends to do it, to go through it, and really like take it to
Same.
heart.
Same.
But I realize it's not for everyone. I mean,
I
it's sad to say it's
everyone, but at certain moments in life, maybe not yet.
maybe not studying it to read for yourself. I mean, it's a really a good tool.
Mm-hmm.
I would encourage people to take it even level one just to read for yourself. But to have a reading is also good.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to have a reading from a very good reader,
Mm-hmm.
no words. It's hard to describe what you will go through.
Yes, yes, yes.
Um, it's not a magic pill because the masters really don't feed you lock, stock, and barrel, because I think they want also the person to go to get their own ahas, their own realizations,
Yes.
their own insights, rather than spoon feed it. Because
Sometimes
it's different. Eh.
I even get no answer.
Yeah.
right?
Sometimes they shut up.
So I learned to not abuse it, and to I feel Akashic reading is something I go to after I've exhausted all the means that I can help myself. And then I feel it's time that, okay, I need help from the masters and teachers, and then I can go for a reading. I feel it has the best value if you do it that way. Like, you help yourself first, and then go to the records for added perspective. So you said, Dean, kasi, diba? You said it's like stepping stone. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I have another analogy. I feel it's also like a way to get pieces of a puzzle, because you can't really see the big picture, but then
Mm-hmm.
going for readings give you additional pieces of your puzzle. So,
Yeah,
and it gives you different perspective of the
and
one.
going through different readers also gives you like different
Yes,
perspectives.
yes, because the readers would have different databases, would have different
Yes.
filters, would have different experiences. And I would tell my friends the biggest work in doing a reading is in keeping yourself neutral, not
Mm-hmm.
affected by the reading.
Yes.
That's why I tell them, I don't want to read for you. I know all your background. I want to read when I don't know anything about the issue. So it's easier to stay neutral that way, right? Well, personally, that's how I want it.
Yes, and sometimes no. Sometimes when the masters show you crazy stuff, I'm like, wait a minute, you want me to read that?
If there's one thing you can say to somebody who has no idea what an Akashic reading is, what would that be?
Wow, that's a if they don't know anything, it's basically how do you call it? It's a book, right? But it's not a physical one.
Mm.
Everyone who goes into the next life passes through a life review, right? And that life review is based on our Akashic records, our book of life in the Christian tradition.
Mm.
And I guess as early as, before we even cross to the other side, we would want to have nice stuff written in our own book.
Mhm.
And I guess it gives us a chance to align ourselves and correct our own mistakes. Because personally, for me, it has paved the way on clearing a lot of um, not negative self beliefs, but self beliefs that have clipped my wings.
Limiting beliefs.
Very, very, yeah, limiting beliefs that I've gotten from my parents or from the environment or from my teacher or the environment or media.
Mhm.
As I grew up. So um, correcting those self limiting beliefs and being able to be shown what and who I am is a gem. And I guess for those who are seeking the path home or seeking a closer relationship with the divine, however you want to call it,
Mm. Mm.
this Akashic reading is a good one of the methodologies or one tool, if you want to call it that,
Mhm.
um, to have that kind of to be able to reach that kind of closeness with the divinity.
Mhm. Mhm. It's like the masters and teachers of the Akashic records are your mediators, and actually really teachers, because they
Yeah.
help you access your records. It's not something that we can read on our own. It's something that's handed information is handed to us by the masters and teachers.
Yeah, instead of us looking for information in the anywhere in the cosmos,
Mm-hmm.
it's just handed to us on a silver platter. Then how, you know can it get better than that?
Thank you, Claudine. Actually, for our for those who will be listening to this video, Claudine and myself both have backgrounds in coaching. Claudine, you're from PSA, and then for
Yes,
myself,
yeah.
yeah,
I took my coaching under PSI,
PSI. Sorry.
ICF, yeah, but I didn't go anymore through the credentialing with the ICF.
Mhm, mhm,
Um, that I went through it.
mhm, mhm. So I also have mine naman is my background is neurolinguistic programming, and even with these tools, we still find that Akashic reading has been very helpful in addressing limiting beliefs,
Yeah,
especially in unraveling them, seeing them from a different perspective. Because it's like doing the work and having the grace of God through the masters and teachers of the Akashic records in seeing things that would be difficult to see on your own with
mm,
all your resistance and years of programming.
yeah,
It really helps sometimes to have that grace from God, the universe, whatever you call it. And personally, Akashic reading has been one of those ways for me to be blessed with that grace from God.
yeah. And I mean, it's not only information, but there's also healing that happens.
Ah, so true, so true.
'Di ba?
Correct. So, Dean, thank you. Thank you for this conversation. Yeah, maybe it's time for us to invite people where they can join us, they can find us.
Okay, so we didn't prepare the low tech.
Version that David has. But we are both members of the Soul Purpose Hub. You can find it as one of the groups on Facebook. We'll also maybe post links on the
Yeah,
Facebook.
in the comment section.
Yes, Claudine is with Sattva Wellness, which
Yeah, our
also
page is Sattva Wellness. It's a public page, and we also have a group in Facebook called Buddha Body Wisdom. Tama ba? Is it the right name? I kind of don't remember, but it's a long name. But it's Buddha Body. So it's also in Instagram, Buddha Body by Sattva. Also in Twitter, it's Sattva Wellness.
Mhm.
I think we also have your Soul Purpose Achievers
Yes, I
group.
have a soul purpose achievers group for people who are in the initial stages of finding their soul purpose. Um, so I invite you to join that also. I have a Facebook page, Lance Bularan, for more to know more about the things that I do. So
So
that
Lance, did we talk about the soul purpose enough?
I'm not sure how many sessions we need to really cover soul purpose. What I can
So
say
maybe
is
that's a part two. Maybe something
maybe
they can.
for
Maybe,
most of my the part for ever since I felt discontent in my life. It's been a journey of finding soul purpose.
yeah, me too.
This is
I
just one of the attempts to like call on people to please join us because it's really a fun journey and liberating, no, Claudine, especially.
it's liberating. Actually, that's another thing. Yeah. So I think there's a part two for this. In terms of your soul purpose and my soul purpose, I think that's another segment.
What topic do you already have another topic in mind, or do you think it's still Akashic reading?
Well, we can talk about the connection between our soul purpose and Akashic reading,
Pwede, can.
diba? So how we got into the soul purpose thing.
I can do that.
Yeah. But I don't
And
know how
maybe
many
if
minutes have
people,
we been talking here.
it's been over 20 minutes. So
Wow.
people have questions about Akashic reading or soul purpose, we'll try to answer them. Um, I wouldn't say I'm an expert on Akashic reading. Maybe Claudine would be the better expert for that, or in any matter. But what I can offer is that I'm with you if you're going through your soul purpose journey, because this is something that I really put to heart and something that I love and enjoy and I'm passionate about. Something I'm fighting for. A future that's built on soul purpose.
Yeah, I'm with you on there on that.
Thank you, Claudine.
Thank you, Lance, for this wonderful conversation. And I thought I was going to like miss it, but it's good that I didn't mess
We
up.
did it. Yeah, it feels bitten. So yeah, let's see where this goes. Thank you. Good night. Good
Thanks. Good
morning,
night and good
everyone.
morning.
Bye bye.
Bye.